Secret Level is an Amazon Prime Video show from the creators of one of my favorite anthologies, Love, Death and Robots. Where's season 4 Netflix? It explores stories set in iconic video game universes with each of its 15 episodes dedicated to a single game. While only a few episodes stood out to me, one episode in particular stole the spotlight, and that is the Warhammer 40K episode. I've binged some amazing franchises across genres, but due to limited time, I've also missed several popular ones, like Warhammer. Due to my lack of exposure to other mediums and Warhammer's lack of live-action adaptations, this franchise never came onto my radar. That's until I read Event Horizon fan theories and watched Henry Cavill's interviews. Because of Warhammer's extensive content that spans across various mediums, I just didn't know where to start. This is where the Secret Level show comes in. I immediately knew a 20-minute standalone story set in the Warhammer universe would be the ideal introduction to the franchise, because it's like offering a small appetizer before the main course itself. And after giving it a watch, I absolutely loved it, even if I didn't understand a goddamn thing. So in the Warhammer episode named They Shall Know No Fear, Sergeant Metasaurus and his squad full of something called the Ultramarines, which includes the main lead of the recent Space Marine games, Lieutenant Titus, are sent to a planet on a mission to destroy an apostate relic that is tainted by an evil god. The episode opened with Metasaurus, played by Akinwumi Agbaje, Mr. Echo himself, giving an ominous voiceover revealing how the Space Marines are created and slowly invoking a dark past for this mysterious child, who is later shown to be Titus.
Centuries ago, I chose a child filled with pain and rage, a child who had never known fear. What could a soul like that be capable of?
I got goosebumps!
This line alone sets up the character of Titus very well for a newcomer like me, and has gotten me feeling intrigued and immediately hooked with the story, as I love characters with mysterious pasts and menacing characteristic. In most of the shots of Titus's face, you can see that it is so emotionless and stoic, similar to the Winter Soldier, and it sends chills down my spine. In various shots, I could sense a heavy religious tone with the overall setting, and it blends well with 80s sci-fi tech from movies like Aliens and Star Wars, which gives it a very unique style. The religious undertone was also enhanced by the use of this chorus music. There were other things like the sound design that was well done and the overall look of the Ultramarines armor that was just super cool. But the best part of the whole episode for me was the action scenes with these Ultramarines. The first action scene was between the Ultramarines and the corrupted army. This scene showcased how badass Ultramarines actually are, with Sergeant Metasaurus casually cutting a dude in half and squeezing the head of another, and then Lieutenant Titus doing the slow-mo jump, cutting a dude with a freaking chainsaw sword, drops a bomb and jumps out like a boss. Then the next action scene was just an art. It took place in a dark area and you can only hear the creatures running up to them, and suddenly the whole area is illuminated by the fire from the gunshots along with the blue brightly lit blood that was spilled from those creatures. So freaking beautiful. I just love seeing men be so badass on screen. And the feel and style of these action scenes remind me of 2013's Pacific Rim. It makes it even more unbelievable that the guy who freaking directed Bloodshot was the one directing this episode. In the final scene, an old sorcerer dude recites a spell while the Space Marines try to destroy the relic, but it releases another being from this weird looking cell here that kinda reminds me of the gravity drive from Event Horizon. If this world wasn't weird enough for me, here comes this demon-like creature with claws for its wings and octopus-like face, and then it goes to evoke every Ultramarine's nightmare, and this kills some of them in the process, except Titus, of course, because he's badass. And bro somehow resisted this nightmare spell and slices the creature into half. The episode then ends with the army charging towards them, Titus suiting up and getting the last man stands moment, and he gives a look to Sergeant Metasaurus. Sergeant Metasaurus then gives a concerned look and remembers the younger version of Titus and says with a deep haunting voice,
What could a soul like that be capable of?
Ah, chills. Literal chills.
I obviously don't understand 90% of the thing that is going on in this episode, but if it has one goal to achieve, which I assume is to make you love the world and interested enough to consider purchasing the game itself, then I would say it has succeeded in that. Even if this isn't the best introduction to Warhammer, it still got me hooked on the world. I love the look of Space Marines, the demonic creatures, the feel of this world, the sci-fi horror aspect of it, and oh yeah, Titus. Give me more Titus. I'm now well inclined to get the Space Marine games, hoping that they will be as badass as this episode. And my anticipation levels for the upcoming Warhammer live action show have grown significantly, but unfortunately it's from Amazon Prime, the same studio that brought to you The Rings of Power, one of the rare TV shows that I just could not finish. I just hope that this new Warhammer show doesn't turn out like Rings of Power. As someone who likes to obsess over lore-heavy IPs, I'm craving for a new one to escape into after my previous choice, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just went downhill post-Endgame. So after several franchises have been continuously angering and alienating fans, I'm still hopeful that Warhammer won't repeat any of these mistakes and problems. Right?
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Secret Level Season 1 gave us some great introductions to game universes. My personal favorites were Honor of Kings, Unreal Tournament, Exodus Odyssey, and Sifu, along with some that I didn't really care much for, like the Mega Man, Crossfire, Funky, and Playtime episodes. But either way, it is a very cool format that helps bring non-gamers like me into the world of gaming, opening us to a wide variety of new set of stories and worlds that are yet to be explored for us. With Season 2 of Secret Level already being greenlit, I can't wait to see what other game universes are being planned for an adaptation. I hope someday there will be an anthology series exploring all the unadapted stories from not just games but comics and novels as well. But for now, I am glad with what we have. I am currently building a community of sci-fi fans, so do help and subscribe if you would like to be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching.